Right now, I'm in a very dark room, and that is because there's a new update. Well, not a new update, but a new snapshot. And this one is pretty interesting. If you can't tell what's doing this light source, it's actually, there's no light source at all. All we're using is a lever and a piston, and we're making this really cool light. And that's because in this new snapshot, pistons are solid blocks. It's the same snapshot where I made the scaffolding and all these floor patterns. But while I was doing that, while I was making this vertical one, I noticed a bug with the pistons. You can go watch the video. Somebody commented that I just made a new zero tick generator, and because pistons are solid, it makes for some really wacky redstone components that I found out about. So first one, you can't pass a signal through a piston anymore, or it makes this very fast clock. I don't really know how fast this clock is though. I'm pretty sure it's faster than an observer clock, but we'll get to that clock comparison later. But what I found super interesting, I tried to separate slime blocks with this, but if you have them in this configuration, like right now, I'm pretty sure you can put a block here, you actually get a bud switch, which is pretty interesting. So if you know what's happening, please tell me, because this is a very interesting bug. But not only that, it also works if the bud switch is here. So that's what I also found pretty interesting. But if we just take only one block and we just flick it again, as you can see, the clock is slower now because we're activating it from here this time, and not from, let's see, let me put the lever over here. And it's so fast that look at that, it like makes the slime blocks disappear. It's crazy. So that was a really weird thing I discovered, that you can make a bud switch and a super fast clock. So next thing we made is some zero tick generators. So we have 4 over here in each direction, and 4 over here with a slime block pillar, because it does separate slime blocks. Now it is a bit directional, so if I try to power it from the back and it's facing this way, let's see if I can figure out what way it's facing. If it is facing, I forget where. Okay, this is south. Let me guess. Yeah, if the pistons are facing south and you do the input on the back, then it will not work. But basically in every other configuration, and yeah, just separated slime blocks right there. Basically in every other configuration, it should work when it's in the back or the side. Now this might change because they might make pistons transparent again, and I'm really hoping they do. Because this is like, this can break or make a lot of things, because you just saw there, you can't pass signals through pistons anymore. Now this one, there are a bit more that don't work, like this one. This one is facing, let me just pull up my F3 screen. This one is facing east, so neither the back or the side work. But in all the other ones, the back and the side do activate the zero tick generator. So I guess that's except for the side on the one that is facing, let me check again. This one is facing north, but it's probably because you could probably just move the piston on the other side and power it from the other side. So it's a bit weird and directional, but I don't really know why. So when I was making that, I also discovered this, which is like, it gives a zero tick pulse, and then 1 tick later, it like turns the piston on. And I thought it'd be interesting if we used this in like hipster doors. So that's what I'm going to show you a bit later. And over here, I was kind of messing around with the super fast clock thing, moving more stuff. Now that I think about it, I haven't actually tried this yet. Oh my god, that looks super weird. So you could probably separate slime blocks with like a few good timings, but also using that format, I was able to make a dual edge zero tick generator. So you can turn it on and off, and it will do a 0 tick pulse. And that is coming from here, so I'm curious to see. Okay, so from here, from putting the input from down here, it does a 1 tick pulse. But doing it from here, it'll actually give a 0 tick pulse like that. So that's another thing if you want to know that. And we have to use an observer because if we put a lever, as you saw in the beginning, it'll just make a clock. So this is the hipster door I said I made with that 0 tick generator. And I'm not really good with doors and 0 tick, so this is basically all I was able to make. So look at that. Bam. Got a hipster door that opens in like 1 redstone tick, so that's pretty cool. And I'm not that good with 0 tick stuff, so correct me if I'm wrong. So basically how I think it works is we have this 0 tick generator over here, so it's going to 0 tick this piston, so it basically extends instantly, well, as fast as instant you can get. And then 1 tick later, this piston and this piston will activate at the same time, but because of update order, this one will activate first and this one will activate next, and that's why we get like that thing going on. And we just have a 3 tick repeater, so then when we want to open it again, it just retracts the first block, but not the second block, because I wasn't able to do that. And here's the clock comparison, comparing the first clock to an observer clock. And I can't really tell which one is faster. I want to say this clock is faster, but I'm not really sure. They're pretty close, but I'm pretty sure the piston on the left is faster, but I don't really know by how much. So if you're good at counting ticks or something and you want to try this out, you can copy any of these. They're pretty easy to copy. But yeah, that's basically all I have to show in this little mini video. So I hope you enjoyed this video, and I also hope that we make more of these 0 tick stuff later. So goodbye.